Today we are talking House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 7, the penultimate episode. Welcome to Screens in Focus. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. How are you?
I am so good. How are you?
I am so good. All right. Dragon fights, dragons coming out of comas, poisonings, betrayals, severed fingers. This episode had everything. I can't wait to dig in. But first, we have to pose our question of the day. Aemond's dreams felt so real until we realized what was happening. So it made me think the question of the day should be, have you ever had a dream that felt vivid? One that stayed with you after you woke up? So we're going to think about that and we'll talk about it later on. Okay, so the biggest moments of the episode, there's so many. So what got you, Sam?
Oh, that's out of left field. The whole episode, I was like, what's Ormund talking about? What's Ormund talking about? He has Corlys, but that's not like the thing he thinks it is. Like, she cares, but no. He meant Ulf. My sweet angel baby. So upset. I was like, and he looked so freaking evil by the end of that episode.
Yeah.
That smile, that actor, his eyes were happy, but that smile was so sinister. Really good.
It was. Well, I have to say, I haven't really trusted him, though. Like, I wasn't, I was shocked, but I wasn't that shocked. Like, I just had a feeling you were going to flip. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was still was surprising. Well, for me, it was dragons. So Sunfyre was huge and the whole dragon fight was huge. Like, I was so glued to the TV watching this. And in saying that, I really want to talk about this battle because it really just captured so much. And I know we both love watching all the dragons. I think everybody probably does. So visually, it was incredible. But I actually found myself rooting for Sheepstealer in the sense of not wanting him to die.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want anything else to happen to any of the other dragons. I know he's seen as a threat, but, once they started attacking him, I just wanted him to survive. What did you think about that moment?
It was so stressful. I didn't know if a human was going to get it, if a dragon was going to get it. And then I was worried about which dragon was going to get it. And I couldn't figure out which one I would rather have died. So I didn't want any of them to die.
Right.
And I just thought that it really wasn't a fair fight. I hated just watching Sheepstealer get attacked. And it really wasn't fair because he had 3 other, dragons on him that are much bigger. They're healthier. They get bigger meals. I just hated that. But I was happy that Daemon let him live. Probably. He might die from his wounds, but... And I did love the little, there was a moment between he and Caraxes, but it was very sweet. Because, even in all of, the battle and stuff, Caraxes still had enough to be like, come here, and, take care of him.
I know. I absolutely love that, too. I took notice of that. And all of that Daemon didn't get back on and say, okay, let's go get Sheepstealer. He let him live. So I thought that was saying something. And I just thought it was a really sweet moment seeing them together. I appreciated that. So there was that moment between Rhaena and Daemon and they had that conversation. I thought the whole scene, okay, so we're kind of going to break it down just a little bit because every little moment was so intense and so much was happening at the same time because Daemon's trying to say, you were supposed to be gone. And she's like, well, I realize I can't live like this. And then all of a sudden they see Rhaenyra and Syrax coming. And I had no idea that it was Rhaenyra on Syrax. I thought it was going to be Baela coming. So did you expect that? What did you think that was happening during that time?
I thought it was going to be what Addam and Baela. I really didn't think it was going to be her because she never gets to do anything. But I was really proud of her for doing that. And I think she has... It's weird because I can see from both ends. I understand why Rhaenyra is upset because I feel like I do think she would have understood that it was an accident. She may not have forgiven her, but she wouldn't have killed her, I don't think. Might have just been get out of my sight for however long.
Right.
Do whatever, but you couldn't help it. And I think that's not a fair thing for Daemon to have done because it makes her feel like, what, you think I'm a monster?
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's not going to be good, sir. And you even called this. Like, you were like, it's not going to end well for him. It's going to blow up. It absolutely did. And I just feel bad for Rhaena because, like, even though I feel she must be relieved on a level that, like, she no longer has to hide this, it's still the shame of it all. And, like, her dragon is dying. She doesn't know that it survived. So I feel like she just watched this thing that was, like, hers. And I just feel really bad. And poor Addam, he just, like, he's very loyal. And that worries me that he's going to listen to her and do something he probably shouldn't, because then it's going to end poorly for him. But because you can see as he's holding on to Rhaena, he's looking up at the dragons like, oh shit, like, what have I done? And that just, like, made me, like, so scared because, like,
well, I felt like he thought he might get attacked by Sheepstealer. Like,
yep,
are you going to
absolutely.
protect her? And am I going to get in the middle of this, when he went to go get her?
And, like, I didn't want any of the dragons to get hurt. Like, I just...
No.
And, like... But just, like, the size of each of the dragons is, like, crazy. Like, that they're...
I loved
so
seeing that.
Yeah. And I did like how as soon as the fight, like, started, I think Rhaenyra, she grabbed...
Rhaena?
Yep. Couldn't say it.
Yeah.
And Addam went back to Grey Ghost, and Daemon went to Caraxes, but he actually, like, kind of, like, stopped the fight a little bit because he kind of squished. He, like, stepped on like the neck of Sheepstealer and got them all, like, away, because, like a Sheepstealer was going after... I was scared for Syrax. I was like, something's gonna happen to her.
I
don't like
it. I was worried too. See, that's why I'm like, no, don't get her. But then she got her scraped Sheepstealer.
Her little feet got up there.
Yeah. So that, and it caused, like, that, like, fire or, like,
I know,
tear or whatever.
They, like,
it was.
all had that. Like, every time, like, they would get scratched, you'd see steam come out of their wounds. But yeah, that was crazy. That whole scene.
It was crazy. But I thought it was interesting that Daemon tells Addam, escort the queen. And I thought, oh my God, what are you going to do next? I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but the way the rest of the scene played out, I thought it was pretty good.
Do you think he intended that? Or do you think it was, like, a convenient, like, he has, like, a convenient excuse now? Like, oh no, I was knocked off my dragon and I couldn't go back. Because, like, I don't know that he intended to let him go, because he was, like, he told Caraxes, like, to kill him.
Yes, he did. So I don't think he did, but I think once he got tossed off and saw him, I was going to say whimpering away, because it said, it's so funny that it comes up and it's all whimpering or whatever it said. I'm like, that's interesting. A dragon whimpering away. But yeah, then I think he just, like, okay, I'm already knocked off. He's already there. Caraxes is not going after him. So, let's call it a day.
Yeah,
I got the wind knocked out of me. I'm ready to head home. So I got to go deal with what's happening there. Which I do want to talk about everything that's happening at King's Landing. I really have mixed feelings about Rhaenyra this week. And there were several moments that I found myself frustrated with her. And I haven't been. Like, I've been like, come on, Rhaenyra, get it together. But I keep seeing her slip away each episode. And I know that's intended. I know they're intended to do this. But I still feel for her. I'm still rooting for her. What was your takeaway on Rhaenyra this week?
She annoyed me as well. And I was, like, mad at myself for being annoyed at her. Because I just, like, because I know a lot of it's not... I mean, it's all her fault. But it's at the beginning it wasn't. And I think she was dealing with, like, a lot of things that were out of her control. But I think she really is starting to crack under pressure. And I am still rooting for her, though. But she just... And this is the first episode where you see, like, the pressure really starting to get to her. Like, she snaps at the Frey woman, which was hilarious. Which, her dealing with Ser Adrian just being like, I'm a scapegoat, and someone put a bag of dog poop on my thing and lit it on fire. I was like, what? I was like, sir. And she just, like, dismisses him. And I'm like, girl, that's gonna backfire on you. You need to... I know he's annoying, but You can't let him know he's a scapegoat. But
well, it's funny because that's exactly the plan, and he totally saw it. It wasn't like they snuck it in there.
No, but Rhaenyra snapped at Sabitha Frey. I thought it was just hilarious. She's going to go back to the twins, gather her forces, and go like over to Harrenhal. She was so pumped. She's like, I would gladly do that. So at least you can put that in like the column of like people that Rhaenyra's made happy.
I know, right? Well, but then I immediately thought about Aemond. Like, what's that going to do once they get there?
Well, maybe I just assumed that like Aemond would probably be dead by then, just because it probably takes a while to get back to the Freys' house, and then
be dead by then. My God. Oh my God.
I mean,
so
people
you
are
think
dying.
this is it. So,
no,
okay.
I don't.
We'll get
Hold
into
on, we'll
that.
get there.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get it there.
I just really want Rhaenyra to stop worrying about what Viserys and Daemon and Mysaria would do and just start to trust herself. And I feel like she was right to go to confront like the Sheepstealer and like the Daemon of it all. And I feel like that was the right thing to do, and she trusted herself. And she's still just so focused on if she's supposed to be the one ruling instead of just ruling. Like, it's the
just
gods
do
aren't.
it.
Yeah, the gods aren't putting you there. You put yourself there, and leave Helaena alone. I really thought that Rhaenyra was going to understand a little bit how like the dreaming works, because she said, "Oh, so she's a dreamer," but then she seemed to treat Helaena like she's going to close her eyes and say, "Oh, well, he's in Harrenhal and the Winter Wolves are an hour away," or whatever. Like, that's how she acted like it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it made me really angry because like Helena's the sweetest and the softest, and I just don't want anything bad to happen to her. But I think it's just like the theme of her she keeps treating people like they're tools instead of like they're people and part of her kingdom. And even like, so Baela complained of it when her and Addam were trying to look for Vhagar. But during the dragon fight, I didn't really like how she treated her dragon. She didn't really seem to care what happened to Syrax. Like, she was maybe more worried about the people, which is probably smart, but I just worry that now she's going to be a tool to her now too, because it's just, she has 5 other ones, and I don't know. I just worry.
I know. I'm worried about it too. I'm worried about what happens to her. I'm worried how I can understand, though, the pressure that she must be feeling because nothing is going her way. And she keeps learning of everyone's deception, too. And of all people, Daemon. I hope that she was a little bit relieved, realizing why he didn't share it with her. It wasn't, I would have been like mad. But then I'm like, now I know why you didn't do it. It was your daughter, which would have felt better, because first I'm sure she thought, because stupid Mysaria was in her ear about like, oh, he's been doing all this stuff, and can you really put it past him? And he's probably doing all these things. And then can you imagine in your mind, it's like, oh, did he do something to his own men? Or did he do that? What is he hiding? He keeps taking off. So, I mean, your mind can really go. So,
and especially like if you're alone, and she's alone a lot of the time. So like, you're going to make up all kinds of things that you wouldn't if you had another person to talk to.
Yeah.
And I just don't like how like Mysaria just like weaseled her way in. Like, she wasn't like, Rhaenyra is barely out of like the council doors, and she's in her ear like, he would do this and he'd do that. I'm like, girl, maybe, yes, but I don't have to hear this now. Like,
I was happy that Rhaenyra told her that, though. Like, you are in my ear telling me all this stuff, and basically, I just need to step back and figure things out. But I felt like she kind of called her out on it. Like, but then later on, we'll go back to Daemon in a second. But then later on, that intimate moment between them, I would think I was a little bit shocked about that.
I was very shocked.
Especially then. I could have seen it happening an episode ago or whatever, but maybe she's so mad at Daemon. She's like, but then with everything that Mysaria just told her.
Yeah.
And then she's telling her what she wants. She's all, do you think I'm worthy? And come on, Mysaria is Mysaria. We know what she does. So
yeah,
she knows what to say. and what people want to hear.
But maybe that's what she wants, though. Like, in that moment, she wants to be told what she's doing is correct, and she wants to forget for a moment or two. Maybe.
That's true. But don't you think Daemon is too? Yes, Daemon has his other ideas, but he does believe in her. And he is supporting her. He's supporting her in everything. I mean, sure, he has his own ideas, so I guess not in everything. But what I mean by that is that he still, even though he wants to do what he wants to do because that's a part of him, I still think he's supporting her. I still think he's doing what he can as a person to support her. I appreciated him coming to her chambers, and I liked that moment. Linda was there to stay with her, and she didn't want her to leave when Daemon came in and talked to her. And I felt, I don't know why I felt bad for Daemon. I'm like, he was just trying to be a good dad. I mean, how do you fault a man trying to be a good dad? Like, I think that is so admirable, and I love that about him. So
the first time he's tried to be a good dad,
I know.
Though. So, like, I'm like, yeah. I know. Like, I agree 1,000%. I think he was just trying to do right by his daughter. And maybe for the first time, he didn't do what was best for him, because what would have been best for him would have been talking to Rhaenyra immediately about what had happened. And I feel like he didn't do that because he was trying to do right by his daughter. And I'm like, the one time you do the right thing, Daemon.
Yeah. Well, also, he may have been trying to do right by Rhaenyra by giving her closure of something. I think he wanted to give her closure of something. Yeah. I really do. I think he was trying.
1,000%. I just don't think it's the best.
I don't think it was probably the best thing, but I think that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, I know that, like, they had, like, the conversation, like, he's like, I wouldn't deny you, or I don't deny that you need to, like, let out the frustration, or, like, you want to, like you're mad about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like he could have, as soon as he figured it out, he could have just told her. He didn't have to do any of that. He could have just said, hey, I went up to get money from Lady Jane, ran into Rhaena, turns out she's riding Sheepstealer. She hadn't, blah, 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 blah. And then...
I know. I think he did it, though, because his daughter pleaded him not to, and he was doing what she wanted. Maybe he should have done that, but he was doing what his daughter wanted him to do. So he did that. So I think I really think there was no clear answer. There really wasn't. I mean, you either support your child or you support your wife, and once you make the decision, the other one's going to be hurt. And you've got to just move forward from that. And honestly, I hope that Rhaenyra understands that, because she has children, and she might do the same. Like, she might do something the same for her child and not tell Daemon something. And
I think she absolutely would.
So it's like, it just is. And he wasn't doing anything malicious. He was, it's just something that his daughter asked of him, and he did. He tells her, look, I've been a neglectful father. I haven't done anything for her. He recognizes that. He's telling her, look, I am doing this. I did this for her. I just did it because I wasn't. So I hope that she does find, I hope that they'll unite again, even so, because I think that he was genuine, and I hope that she sees that. Okay, but go ahead.
Hold on. Sorry. What is bonkers to me is, in this episode, we learned from him that when he grew up, like when he was a kid, his mom died at 3. He didn't get a dragon until he was 11, I think, or something like that. Like, he didn't get a dragon until he was older. So why wouldn't he go to his daughter and say, but look at me now, I'm this badass on this thing? And what's hilarious is, I saw a thing and he had gotten, like, the dragon when he was a teenager or something. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense why he is the way that he is, because he got this big, powerful thing when he's like a teenage boy, all those, like, hormones and stuff. So
he is talking to Rhaena when he does tell her.
But he should have told her that, like, when she was
before.
A kid. Yeah, heck yeah. I think, because, like, he could be like, no, I understand. It doesn't make you, like, you're still a Targaryen. You're still blood of the dragon. It doesn't make a difference. Like, look at the king of Westeros. He doesn't ride a dragon. Like, that's what a parent would do, I think, to be like, no, Bubba, it's okay. You'll get one eventually, because that's what, like, the mom does.
Yeah.
Helaena Velaryon.
Let's talk about Rhaena.
Yeah.
Because that moment, with her and Baela, I actually shed a tear. Like it got me. And I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think that was going to happen. But for her to be there and Baela to come in and just be in support of her sister was so moving to me. I thought it was such a moving moment.
She's like the best. Like Baela, like to be able to forgive your sister, and obviously like you should forgive your sister because she didn't do it on purpose, the whole thing. But like that's really hard to do because it's been what, like a month? Not even. I don't even know how long it's been.
I don't
since
either.
Everything, but not all that long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really nice, and it made me. I didn't cry, but I think I was like you know. I think I was holding my pearls because I think her sister knows that, like, Baela knows that her sister Rhaena was treated very differently from her, and she's lost a ton. And Sheepstealer was the first time that she had like a thing for herself, and so I think she's looking at it from that lens and not like, you killed my fiance.
Yeah.
But just real quick, I wanted to go back and talk about how Baela and Addam were talking. Well, he asked her if she'll talk to her dad about them like having like the Velaryon last name, and she's like, "We talked about you," and Addam is like, "What? No, what? No." Like I don't. I mean, I want them all to be happy, but I was hoping that she ended up with Addam. Not that Alan's not great, but she needs a man who can cook. You know.
But that's the whole thing, because we did see it right, because we had said when we saw Baela and Alan kiss, we're like, oh, we thought that her and Addam might be a thing. Like Addam seemed like he liked her. Well, this just reveals, yes, he does like her because he wants to be legitimized. Noble enough for her. Yeah, and then when she said, Addam talked about us or something like that. And it's like his face, what happened was his face
like
dropped. Yeah, but then that's when they saw Sheepstealer in, I was Sheepstealer, right? Yeah, that's when they saw Sheepstealer. So the moments that we see here, and one runs right into another, and it's like, oh my God.
I know.
That is crazy. All right. Mysaria. She has totally shifted. Like I liked her. Now this episode, I'm like, no. I'm not liking you this episode.
She was really mean to Sylvie. And then she points out that, oh, well, you're different than before, so power has changed her. And like, I do think that there is some truth to her, like, talking to Sylvie about, like, no, like, I'm doing it for the people, because I do think she has that in mind. I just don't know, like, how much more of, like, the powers, like, got into her head, and it's, like, more about, like, elevating herself.
I think it is. I think, yeah, she does want to help her people, but she's like, hey, this is what I can get. Because she even talks about her wardrobe.
I know.
What she's wearing and like the walls. See, these have changed you. Yeah, it's changed you. And now now when she says, oh, the queen doesn't want to hear about any more petitions, everything will go through me and then I'll have the influence. I think that's all power, because it's like, depending on what you give me, then I will decide what Rhaenyra gets to hear.
Yeah, because it's not like she's going to hear from like the small folk. It's going to be like the lords and ladies, probably.
Or whoever can give her what she wants.
Yeah, or that. And I don't like, because she's just telling Rhaenyra what she wants to hear instead of what she needs to hear, because her stopping the petitions is a very dumb idea. The second you stop like trying to listen to the people is like the moment like your reign's going to go to shit.
It's definite. It's definite. That's what we're leading to. That's what all of this is about, I think. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but it is. The power of the people is strong.
Really is.
And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that in the next episode. Helaena.
Yeah, she's a sweet angel.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that we got to see like what like Helaena sees when she like is dreaming. And I was like, I got scared for a second because I was like, why is she outside? That looks terrible. Like, what is happening? Like, I know like the horse is pretty and stuff, but I feel like the one thing that people probably don't really like to think about is that like the dreams are they're just a burden.
Yes.
And Rhaenyra didn't want anything to do with like Helaena really. And like she wasn't like mean to her, like she was nice to her and stuff, but didn't want anything to do with her until she learned about the dreaming. And I can't even imagine the anxiety of being able to see other things and to be away from yourself, or to be out of reality for a second and not be able to really explain them. Because it's not like she knows what these things mean now. It doesn't, really happen until like down the line. Did you watch Night of
the Seven Kingdoms?
Yeah, so there's a Targaryen there. His name is Darren, and he's a dreamer, and he drinks a ton, I think, to like avoid like the dreams. So I feel like it's just a burden, and
it is, I'm sure.
I can't even, and I feel like because based on like how Rhaenyra acted, the people probably try to use the dreamers, which is insane because that's not how dreaming works.
Okay, that was one of the major frustrating things with me was how she treated Helaena at that moment. Mm-hmm. Because at first I thought she came in very politely. She's like, "Oh, I'm afraid I woke you up." And then she says, "I'm your sister." And I thought, I keep forgetting that part, right? Sometimes I just do. And I'm like, well, they're sisters. But then she doesn't really even care that they're sisters because she's all, "I can command you as the queen." And then
she grabs her.
Yeah, she grabs her. Okay, wait. I do want to ask a question about that. I thought we saw on her hand like marks, that we had talked about her cutting herself. I thought like right here, I saw cuts. And then when she pulled her hand and then Rhaenyra looked down and then we see her hand again, almost looked like they were gone. And I'm like, whoa, did I imagine that? Or was that a mistake? Or did something really happen? Because
I didn't see that.
Look at that. Look, because you've seen it already 4 times. Look at
I know, but I'm watching her hand.
I know, but you might. And why did I catch it? Do you know what I mean? Because why would they show her hands twice? I just thought that was really weird. Like, why did they show her hands and then why did they show her hands again? So anyway, I thought I noticed something in her hands. Maybe it was nothing. But either way, she did grab her. And she's like, and I wondered if Rhaenyra saw the poke marks in her is what I was thinking. And Rhaenyra's probably thinking, oh, you are hurting yourself is what my first thought was. And also like, oh, I'm grabbing you. I'm being
Which
kind
is
of
the thing that she's been like stopping people from doing to her like all season. Like people have not been allowed like to touch her at all. So for her to do that like to someone else is just like, ugh.
Yeah, because I think it was showing her. I think she realized, look, I'm a little bit out of control myself. Yeah. Because here's this person who's not very assertive, and this is what I'm doing to them. So, but
she woke her up. Like how invasive.
Okay, when she has these dreams or visions, I mean, I know we don't really know, but it makes me wonder if they are for sure going to happen, if some version of them is going to happen, because we do see Dreamfyre and the whole Dracarys thing. So I'm like, oh my God, is that going to happen? Or is it just a version of that? I don't know. But the fact that we see her deliver her baby, have 2 kids, and one look like a boy. Mm-hmm. Then the snow, the coldness, which leads us into the long night in House of the Dragon. So it makes me feel like she really knows what's going to happen. So I feel like all these things are very representative of what's really going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Except for like the Dreamfyre thing, but that doesn't always they're not always. It's not always like a literal thing.
Yes, literal. That's a good word. Yeah.
Maybe it's not that she'll like Dracarys people, but people will die because of her. Maybe that's what that means. What's Helaena going to do to kill anybody,
I know. That's what's shocking. But you know what?
I know.
We don't know what will transpire to make people do things, right?
No. And I feel like it's like
if someone tries to take her baby.
Right. And it's a very like harsh world out there. So I feel like there are things that we're not even like considering because it wouldn't even like, it's just like a harsher world. Like they don't have plumbing, like all that stuff. So it could just be anything.
All right. Let's switch over to Aegon because my comatose dragon woke up. I know I'm Team Black, but I have to give Aegon some credit here. He took a stand. He refused to run. And then one of the coolest reveals of the season, seeing Sunfyre. What did you think of that?
I was excited. I didn't know. So I assumed he was going to come back, like, because they'd gotten into this like impossible thing. I was like, the only way that they're getting out of here is if our boy comes back, and he does, and it was exciting, and it I was cheering, and Aegon he gives this speech, and it's awesome, and which is so unexpected from him, because the other times he's tried to give a speech or give orders, he speaks bad Valyrian, he gets punched in the gut, all that stuff. And so this is the first time that I think because he actually means what he says, which is nice.
Exactly.
And he's he's lost things, so there's more at stake. But I thought it was really admirable that he wanted to go out the way that he wanted to go out, which was on his own terms. We've talked about this a little bit before, and I've talked about the lore a little bit, but the way that the dragons were made is through a blood magic, and through people having to sacrifice other people. So I also wonder if that maybe when he stabbed
Janice,
yes, that maybe it helped to bring him back.
Ooh, especially because he used his shard. Whoa, I love
that. Yeah. And I'm just really hoping that maybe this will make Aegon into a changed prince. I know he's a shit, but forward, you know what I mean? He can be better. No, probably not. He's definitely going to rain a bunch of fire on the people that have wronged him, because now he has his dragon back. I know.
Yes.
Let me be hopeful.
I know. Did you hear his diabolical laugh? That was perfect.
It was that look. He was, oh my God, that was hilarious and awesome at the same. He looked crazy.
He was crazy. He is crazy. He's like, oh my God, my dragon's behind me.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I didn't want it to happen because it was Team Black, but I loved it because, I mean, here and when I watched it again, you can hear the background, but but the first time, I didn't hear any of that. I wasn't at all. I was paying attention to what he said. And let me just back up one moment. When he's standing there with Tyland and they're getting ready, and we'll talk about Tyland in a second, but they're standing there, and then he turns around and he's all, I don't know if he says, Your Grace, do you want to, change your mind about this? And then he turns around, he's like, and he, picks up a sword, and I'm thinking, hell yeah. That's how if you're going to go out, that's how you should go out. That just brought him up so much to me in that regard of just appreciating him at that moment. And I do want to say that Tom Glynn-Carney, who plays Aegon, is so good. He's so good at this role. And I just really appreciate him. And yeah, that diabolical laugh and moving forward, his speech and then just what, he thinks he's got everybody going. Because, when you're yelling, you've got all this adrenaline going and everybody's reacting and everything else. And everybody else sees that it's Sunfyre behind him. And then that's when he turns around. He's all Sunfyre. And then, of course.
And Sunfyre looks gnarly, by the way.
Yeah.
They have the burn marks are on opposite, or the sides of their face that are messed up are on opposite sides.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was a great scene. And I'm like, wait, how much is he burning? Or did some of those people survive?
They were all after people though.
They what?
The Mutant people were kicking all the people out of their homes. They weren't good people.
Okay.
I don't think they deserved to burn for that. But
okay.
I'm just saying it wasn't like they were.
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
I think anyway. I mean, people were, they were fleeing in quite fright.
Yeah. And Tyland, it was pretty good. It was pretty admirable for him to stay too. It's what you should expect from someone to say. Where Lars is like, I'm out. I got a club foot. I'm out. Can't help you.
Yeah, I was surprised that Tyland stayed, but I guess he figures he's going to get caught eventually anyway. So might as well just go out trying to defend yourself.
You know what, though? How do you leave? Because if you're in that position, I mean, how do you ever hold your head up high if this is what you do? This is what you do, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I keep forgetting that he's actually, he was in the Battle of the Gullet. So, like, it makes sense that, yeah. I always forget that. But I thought it was hilarious. Like, they're like, it's the first time I think they are seeing all the people who are fleeing. And Aegon's like, there's no way that they, like, know about me. And Tyland's like, they're obviously, like, they're looking for him. Like, he's the one that's, like, they have no idea.
Because they want the gold. They want to know where the gold is.
Yeah, I thought it was nice that he did stay with Aegon, but I was surprised. But I did also enjoy, Hilaris was like, I will tell everybody the tale of Aegon through song, or something like that. I don't think that's, like, verbatim, but...
He did ask permission. Like,
yeah.
He said, I'll stay if you want me to stay. And Aegon's, no, you can leave.
Which is kind, but I wonder now that he's, like,
I know.
with a dragon, like, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, like, what was Lair, like, if he's there, he's correct. Like, he's not going to be able to defend Aegon, so it's going to be like, I'm going to get killed, then you're going to get killed, then they're going to kill Tyland. Like, well, they probably wouldn't kill Tyland because they need to figure out where the money is, but he would get,
yeah,
get taken. So, guess it's fine.
Wait, was it him that they told, we'll keep your ears if you tell, or was it someone else about the ears?
I don't remember that.
They're like, if you tell us, we'll keep your ears. I don't know. I just remember hearing somebody say that somewhere down the line. All right, let's get to Harrenhal. Okay, this place continues to be one of the weirdest places in Westeros. That opening with Aemond and Alicent had me completely fooled. I was thinking, what am I watching? Then we realized it was another one of Harrenhal's visions, or just one of Aemond's desires. I don't know. So what was your reaction?
That was my reaction. Ugh. I was shocked. I thought Alicent was doing too much to convince Aemond, like, to trust her. And I was really just hoping that it was a vision. And it's weird that Alice asks him, what did you see? So she knows that he wasn't, like, fully with her. And I don't know, did she do, like, a glamour on herself to be like, whoever he needs to, like, whoever he's attracted to, like, put me as that? And that's why and then because it's, like, a shocking thing, she's like, wait a minute, I don't know.
My gosh, you're right. Oh my gosh, when that was happening, and then, like, she reaches for his pants to take them off, I'm like,
too much.
No. I'm like, I mean, it's different if we just see it or we imagine it or they kind of whatever, but only because I see this as mother and son. And it's just like, this is like, no. And then I thought when Alicent was first doing that, I'm like, Alicent is really trying, because this is when I thought it was real. And I'm like, she's really trying to convince him. Like, in her mind, she's like, I just got to do this. Like, she's just really got to put it on and do that. And I thought, man, she's really putting it on to do it. But oh my gosh. And then when he all of a sudden sees it's Alice and then flips Alice off, he's all, no.
Yep. And as he's like, as he's walking into, like, the courtyard, there are, like, bat noises, just weirdly. But then he sees his real mom, which is bonkers. And, like, he's probably like, WTF, man? Like, is that Alice? Is that my mom?
Well, that's when he grabs her hair.
I know. He
grabs her really hard. And she's all, oh, did I offend you? Oh my gosh. And her eyes.
Oh, Olivia Cook's eyes are amazing.
They are.
I thought it was crazy that he killed Ser Adrian immediately. And at first I thought it was just because he didn't believe his mom. But then I think it's because he doesn't want anyone to know about the eggs, which is, like, weird.
He just doesn't want him to leave and say he's there.
Well, he could have, like, made him stay, like, come in for dinner or something. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he probably should have just killed him. I know. Yeah. I'm trying to not have everyone die.
I know, but I was shocked, but I thought it was smart. I thought it was really smart. I do.
I mean, it is smart because he was there to kill him. But, like, Alicent has to come up with, like, another plan now because the plan was for Ser Adrian to kill him. And I didn't really think she had it in her. She does it, and she looks conflicted about everything, though. Those eyeballs are just, like, huge and worried. And I think it's because she has to choose Helaena, like, over Aemond. And I just really wonder how she's going to get out of King's Landing. I know she had an escort.
You mean Harrenhal?
Yeah. she's trying to get back to King's Landing. I don't know how she's going to get back there. I know when they were leaving, there was more than one like horse like with them. So maybe like the people are in like a not too far away place, and she's gonna go meet up with them, and then they'll get home safely. But I don't know, because like the King's Road is long and dangerous.
I have no idea too, and it's getting cold. Like you had noticed her jacket and everything last episode. So how is she going to go home? And I thought when she did go in and give him the wine, I thought he was going to make her drink it. Like I thought he was going to be suspicious and say, "Here, Mom, you try it too." And I was thinking, "Oh my God, could this happen twice in one season for her?" Because they made her drink the moon tea, and now I thought, "Oh my God, they're going to make you drink it." And then if she doesn't drink it, she's gonna. I mean, if she does drink, she's going to die. If she doesn't drink it, he's going to know that his mother tried to kill him. I really thought that was going to happen. I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah.
And then of course he stumbles into Alice, and Alice is all, "You idiot." Yeah.
She looks so annoyed, which was so funny. And like she called it earlier, she's like, "You Targaryen boys only want one thing. Like they have like a weakness, and it's mommy." Just so. Ugh. But she doesn't. She tries to tell him like not to trust her. She says that there's a fog around her, which is like, there's like a good reason. And she also wasn't really surprised at Alicent's arrival like at all, which is bonkers. And I can't figure out if Alice cares about Aemond or not.
I can't either.
Because
Go ahead. Well, I don't think Aemond cares about her.
No.
I just don't think he does it. I really don't. There's too many. It's just convenient. She saved my life. She's there, but there's nothing.
I feel like for him, it's like a means to an end. He's like, she wants kids. I want to have a brood of, just a bunch of kids I can make go off to war. Because I feel like Alice, she knows his fate, and maybe she just wants to use him for the dragons and the babies. But I wouldn't want to be at that, like when they were like all eating dinner and Alicent's trying to figure out who this woman is. Like, it was so awkward, but really hilarious. And I feel like Alice and Aemond were just acting like an old, like they've been like together forever. She's like, "We're out of wood." Clearly that's like a sign and like a signal. I thought was hilarious.
I can't stop thinking that Aemond knows now. Aemond knows that he can never trust his mother again because of what she did. And I think that's really a clear choice that Alicent made. And at first I'm like, "Oh my God, how do you kill your son?" Of course, we talked about this several times, how she tried to, give up Aegon, and now she's doing this to Aemond. And you had said, well, because they're bad people, they've done bad things. I'm like, but it's still her kids. But you know what? If you have a choice to like you had mentioned, if you have a choice to save a innocent person that hasn't done anything wrong, or how do you go forward in this? And it made me think about how, these children were raised by her. So maybe she feels it's an obligation to save the realm and, everything else. And the only way I can do that is to not have my sons here. Of course, or failure on both counts, unfortunately for her. So, at the end, I think, she's tried to off both her kids, and both of them,
we're going to find out.
Yeah, they haven't died. And so I think that she's going to, I don't think she's going to have a good ending herself.
But and I think because like she goes about trying to kill like Aemond, and like it's like the dirtiest way. Like you're going to use it's like a good thing that you and him had when he was a kid, and you're going to use that against him now. How? Oh,
yes,
he probably would have rather you like stabbed him with the cat's paw dagger, which I like how that's still like floating about. That has a prophecy on it. I wonder if Aemond will see the prophecy or not with that.
I want to say one thing about Aegon that when you were talking, it made me think, because you had said, Aegon has changed and everything. And it made me think that he was so well, he's still entitled, but he was so entitled before because he was pretty much catered to and protected and everything. But now he's been out on the road. And he's had to do all kinds of stuff, clean latrines and figure out his food.
A boot.
Yeah, kissed a boot, did all this stuff. So maybe he's learned. I'm hoping he's learned a little bit out there. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, but it just popped into my brain before we leave the brothers, because we need to head into Tumbleton. And I knew it was going to be Corlys's finger. And it's like, that damn Ormond. He sends that message to Ellen and then gets Ulf to switch sides. What a sneaky guy.
I know.
Even Daemon's like, oh, this guy keeps hiding. He's hiding things from me. So I don't know. What do you think about what's happening here?
So when they were at the table and they were eating, I liked how Corlys wouldn't. He like stood for a lot of like a bunch of like other like Targaryen slander, but the second he got to his wife, he was, I'm done and I'm out of here. But I wanted to talk for like a brief moment about, they did like a little nod to Game of Thrones in this episode. So Corlys, they're like around the table and a guy comes over and he offers him wine, and Corlys puts his hand over it and says no. And he says something about like, are you going to poison me with a pigeon pie? Which is how in Game of Thrones, that's how a character is killed. And I just thought it was like a nice little nod to that, because he's like, I'm not playing it, because if that character had been smarter, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So
I liked Corlys in this.
Corlys
I really
was good.
did. Yeah.
Corlys is he's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
But I felt bad about his finger, and it made me wonder, do you think he chopped it off, or do you think he made Sir Jon do it?
Ormond was holding the knife, when Corlys was saying, take me back, I don't want to be here anymore. And he's all, one more thing, or something like that. Yeah, so I think he did it. I don't know. Who knows?
So like it's probably just like an easy chop.
But he is kind of squeamish, so who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. So Ormond's been like very confident the last few episodes and keeping everything like really close to his chest. And I like, why is he doing that? Like, I'm waiting, trying to figure out like what's he waiting for. Turns out he was waiting for Ulf to like finally be a traitor and trade sides. And I feel so bad for Ulf, because like Ulf, he doesn't really think those things. He doesn't think you're worth anything. He spends most of his time like trash talking on the Targaryens, and it just like all he had to do was treat Ulf like he matters, and he's like, yeah, I'm in, because they had probably only talked like 1 or 2 times.
And is he really going to give him what he wants? Like, is he really going to give him?
I don't think you want to like go. I don't think you want to lie to like a dragon rider who just probably did a bunch of like bad stuff.
Well, I heard what happened between you and Daemon and the way that you were treated, and and the way he saunters up the stairs.
I know, but I think this makes Ormond a really smart guy, and he's good at war. And I don't like saying that, because that's
I
like
agree.
so good. Like, it's so smart, and he's a shit. But I like how so Darren, he doesn't trust Ormond at all. He's starting to be like, wait, why am I listening to him? And he's questioning him.
Yeah.
And he's like, how will it be useful or whatever? And you can see like Ormond wishing that like everyone else was gone, so he could probably beat the crap out of Darren. And he just wants to be like an honorable king. And he doesn't even care about the crown. He just wants to rule his people in like a fair way. And it makes me worried, because people who want to be king and or queen don't end well. And I really like Darren. I want him and Baela to get together. Let's do that.
Oh my gosh. All right. Sounds like a plan. We'll see what's in the future. All right. There were some themes here in this episode, so I want to know what thematically stood out to you.
Everyone needs some validation, and I feel like everyone is looking for someone to tell them that they're enough. Ulf defects because of Ormond. Rhaenyra will ask anybody if you think I'll be a good ruler. Some people on the street. Aemond just wants confirmation that he's destined for greatness and for his mother to love him. And then the other one that really stood out to me was how everyone's just like in an echo chamber, and how that like is super dangerous.
Yeah.
Because like with Rhaenyra and Mysaria just seems to be reinforcing Rhaenyra's decisions, even though she knows that they're wrong and she should be like challenging her. And I feel like Alice is just like trying to feed Aemond's ego in a sense of like his purpose. She says, I will, in this moment, I'm going to birth you a son or something. And that's just, weird. And then Ormund wins Ulf over by just like validating his frustrations and just promising him exactly what he wants. He asks for Honeyholt, which is the seat of the Beesberries.
So I think trust and loyalty is constantly shifting, is what I saw, because Rhaenyra questions Daemon and Mysaria, and Ormond successfully wins Ulf to the Greens. So we see a lot of shifting there. And also, and you had mentioned this earlier, because I felt like dreams and visions offer insight, but not control. And you had talked about them being a burden, and that's totally what I see them to be. Helena's visions hint at what's to come, and Aemond's experiences at Harrenhal exposes his inner fears or desires. And then I also saw power demands difficult choices, because Rhaenyra pushes Helaena for answers, and Aegon chooses to stand and fight, and Alicent faces an impossible decision with Aemond. So, yeah, it's that damn power. It's always manipulating people and making people do all kinds of things.
Like, it's something that like Alicent has brought up like in a bunch of episodes. She tells Rhaenyra 2 or 3 times that you don't think you'd do that, but the power will change you.
Yes. She knows, because she's been there. She's seen it for so many years. She was witness to all of it. All right, we are heading into our rapid fire. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you're going to give me your gut initial answer. All right. What was your favorite dragon moment?
When we got to see Dreamfyre in the dream. Even if Helaena was burning people, I don't think she'd do it without a very good reason, and I trust her.
I love that. Okay, it's got to be Sunfyre. It really was a cool moment. Even though it was Team Green, I'm like, I just like seeing when dragons survive. That just makes me happy. I love that. I also did love the moment with Caraxes and Daemon. I thought that was just really sweet. Wait, pause. One thing. I did notice that when they were in that dragon battle, that the 3 dragons were after Sheepstealer. I wondered, is it because of the writers? Is it because they're like, hey, we know each other, and that's like, we don't know him. He's an outsider. I wonder what goes through their mind. Is it instinctual? Like, I was curious, how what a dragon was thinking, or how they work together. So I don't know. It just made me wonder.
If it's like 3 like indoor cats and like they're versus like an outdoor cat, the 3 indoor cats probably would also like to fight each other, but they're gonna rally against the like the outside cat because it's like feral. Just like it doesn't, which is like also sad because Sheepstealer, him and his little mouth, he couldn't bite properly.
All right, what was the biggest surprise?
I was shocked. There was a lot of surprising things, so I think my first thought's going to be like a little lame, but I was shocked at how Rhaenyra like handled Helaena. I thought that was because she talks about her in such like a, she's always said really nice things about her. Helena's, nice or whatever. It's the first time that you see that she's so stressed out. She just reacted instead of like, and then responding,
Yeah. There are a lot of shocking things that happen, which I love. But I think for me, the thing that shocked me the most was when I thought Alicent and Aemond were having sex. Ugh. I'm sorry, that got me. Like I said, the moment that she reached and pulled down his pants and they were actually doing it, I'm like, what? Man.
No, thank you.
So I was glad. I was so glad when it wasn't real. All right. Who is the MVP of the episode?
I'm going to go with, I have 2. So 1, Sunfyre for saving Aegon. And then Baela for being the best Targaryen and the sister for understanding that Rhaena didn't mean to kill Jace. Because that's a very mature thing to do.
Yeah. Mine is Baela.
Yeah.
Because I just think the maturity, the loyalty, the love that she must have for her sister above herself and just being there for her, it just totally won my heart. I told you I had tears in my eyes and I thought, that is what gets me and you are the real MVP. So I love that moment. All right. What did you see as the biggest betrayal?
Alicent, when she poisoned Aemond, I didn't think how she was going to do it like that. I don't know what I thought she was going to do. I thought she was honestly just going to like hang out for a bit. And then when she actually poisoned him, I was like, oh, okay, that's a betrayal.
Yeah.
He's going to not take that lightly. Watch out, mama.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know how I could say anything else because I was surprised because you're right. I really thought Ser Adrian was going to do the deed. And then when Alicent had to actually do it, and I didn't think she was going to be able to go through it when she actually touched his face because I thought there has to be a softening when you actually touch the human that you created, but it didn't. And so I really think that's a huge betrayal. Your own child. I mean, that's way beyond everybody else's betrayal because that is blood. So.
And I think that's probably like the 15 years that I'm just trying to think how long they would have ruled. Because I feel like Alicent, like before she got to like be queen, wouldn't have done it because that's really tough. But I feel like she knows that she doesn't really have a choice, And I think that like the crown taught her that, which is, I guess, maybe it's not a good lesson, but at least it helped her in the moment.
Yeah. All right. What's the biggest finale prediction?
I think Ulf's going to burn Tumbleton or King's Landing or something. But something's going to happen and I don't like it. I'm very nervous for next episode. We'll see.
Well, I think the war's only getting bigger, and I think Ulf and his dragon are going to have a major impact. And yeah, I'm really worried what's to come for Daemon
wolves are heading that
and
way.
The rest of Team Black. Yeah, everybody. I mean, it's going to be something that's happening. Something big is going to happen, and I think the town, the people are going to rise up. Also, I think there's going to be a lot of different things happening at one time, and it's not going to be good for Team Black.
I don't think it's going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think there's going to be just no one really wants this to happen except for maybe Aemond. But I feel like Alicent's not going to want to. She doesn't want anyone else to die either because she's to blame for all of this for the most part. You know. But. Well, hold on. If we're going to talk blame, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've been kind of wondering how to bring this up. I don't understand how and why the Targaryens, the people, just the close-knit people, don't know about the the dream and the long night and the prophecy. I don't know why it's not talked about more amongst the top royals, because if someone dies without ever passing it along to their heir, then that gets lost. So then what's the point of that? And I feel like then that would unite the realm, or it would at least hopefully it would unite the top people to be well, we just need a king to protect the actual realm, and maybe it'd be a thing to bring everybody together. Like a common good. Because it kind of did in Game of Thrones a little bit. But not for Cersei. That bitch. But yeah, no,
Sorry. I'm laughing and coughing at the same time. Sorry, that was funny.
But yeah, I've always kind of wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Although I don't know why you wouldn't want everyone to know it. Because then you could unite the entire realm and everyone could be prepared for the long night. And then what happened at the end of Game of Thrones wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have had the bad ending of Game of Thrones.
It all has to do with power.
I know.
Power.
I'm like a hippie. I'm like peace and love, everybody. I know the world doesn't work that way. I know that, but my mind doesn't know that.
I know. I get it. I agree. And I get what you're saying, but I'm telling you, this is why. This is why. You hold things close. You're not going to share it because they're going to lose the power that you have.
I said just the top royal, so it's 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, it always gets leaked. Nobody can keep information, unfortunately.
Maybe.
All right. We are back to our question of the day because we talked about Aemond's vision and and how dreams sometimes feel really real. And so our question of the day is, have you ever had a dream that felt very vivid, one that stayed with you even after you woke up?
Not really. Like, the only thing I have is, like, I think I've told this in the podcast a few times, but I was, like, probably, like, a week after my dad, like, had passed, and I was, like, asleep or something, and I woke, and in my dream, my dad had come to me and was, like, handed me, like, a tube of toothpaste and said, like, you need to smile more, which meant, like, please, like, don't, because my dad always, like, when he was alive, was like, don't spend too long mourning me, blah, 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 blah. So it was like, and he always used to joke that it was like a week, like you have a week to mourn me and then you can move on. So that was like, like a note from him or whatever. And like, it felt really real, which was like terrible at the time because you're like, cool, but now I'm like so happy that like I have that. Cause like, that's like a thing that like changed me completely.
Yeah.
Cause like, and cause like you can't be sad the rest of your life. My dad would not have wanted that. Neither would my mom.
Well, yeah,
so, like,
he shared that with you, which is great because hopefully that stays with you. And like, you know what? This is what my dad wanted me to be. He wanted me to be happy, to move on, to keep living. So I think I love that dream. And I think I'm glad that it was the most vivid dream that you've ever had.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about a dream I had as a kid, but also other vivid dreams, which I've shared with you before in our Screams in Focus. But I have, which I didn't know anyone else didn't have, but I get sleep paralysis. And I think I'm awake and I can't move. And I am like stuck. And I turn to my husband and I'm like trying to yell, but my voice won't come out. I'm like, Ed, he won't hear me and he won't wake up. And I feel this doom, like that's going to happen, like something's going to get me or attack me or darkness. And I'm like, it's like I'm stuck. So it's like sleep paralysis. And then all of a sudden I really do wake up and it's normal. But I felt like I was just normal a minute ago. I thought that was awake. And it just happened to me several times. I don't like it. But I've looked it up and it's something in your sleep REM,
or you're awake, but like your eyes aren't, or like your eyes are awake, but like your brain's not, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like, like. So I looked it up. I was like, is it like a thing that you can like catch? Can you like prevent it? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No.
But I don't feel exactly like when we've seen what's the series
Hill House.
Hill House.
Yeah.
I wasn't like that at all. And so then I kept thinking, well, maybe I really am.
You weren't being haunted by yourself?
Well, also, I don't really think, that either, but I don't really think that I'm really awake. And I think a lot of people, when they have sleep paralysis, they really are awake. They just can't move because they're still in it. I think I'm really dreaming. I just didn't realize I was dreaming because things shift. And I feel that in my dream, I feel fear of like being in a scary movie. But once I actually wake up, I might be like, what the heck just happened? But I don't have real fear. It's like normal. I feel normal inside, right? My gut feels normal.
You're like,
yes. I'm like, oh, that was a terrible dream, but I don't know it. And I was like, I don't want to be dreaming like that again. So anyway, that's when my dreams are really vivid. So I don't like them. And I haven't had one in a while. So I'm really glad.
You need to knock on wood or something.
I want to have a vivid dream where I win like a bunch of money and then I can buy all kinds of fun stuff and go on vacations and but then I'll be mad when I wake up.
When you wake up. Yeah.
I'll be all, damn it, I thought that was real. So, all right, friends out there, let us know what you think. We would love it if you would answer the question of the day, which is, have you ever had a dream that felt so vivid that it stayed with you even after you woke up? If you did, we would love to hear it. You can leave us your comment wherever you're listening or watching or on social media. You can get there by going to screensinfocus.com. Our links are at the top. You can click on there and leave it there. Or if you really want to explain it to us, you can call us. And our phone number is 669-223-8542. And we'll share it in the podcast. All right. Well, that's a wrap of episode 7. Please come back for the finale. But we have TV and movie recommendations for you. Sam, share with us what you're watching.
So I'm doing a first watch of a TV show called The Last Ship. It came out in 2014 and ended in 2018, but it's on Netflix. I just started it like earlier today. And it's like an older show about like a pandemic that hits the world and kills like 80% of the people or something like that from just like the first 20 minutes. It's pretty good. And then there's a documentary, it's a series, there's like 3 or 4 episodes about the the kids at the Idaho college. So it's the Idaho Murders College Nightmare, and that's on Netflix. That one's really good too, and it was really hard because like college kids are so sweet, like in pictures and how they talk about each other. It's all so nice. I mean, it's a tragedy, and that guy is terrible. And then I watched 2 movies. I watched This Is Not a Test, which is a Shudder. It's a Shudder. It's on there, but I watched it through AMC Plus, and that's a zombie movie. Actually, it takes place in like a small town, and I want to say it's like in 1998. So it's like old school. It was decent. I wouldn't say it was really good. It had problems, but I enjoyed it. And then I watched Masters of the Universe on Amazon, and that's the He-Man like movie.
Yes. Was it good?
No, it was fun. I will say that it was fun, but I don't know anything about the universe. So maybe if you have the like nostalgia like attached to it, like maybe you'll feel differently. But like the names just sound really silly. But I had a good time watching it because it's like an action movie, and the guy looks good, the girl looks good, like there's fun things, there's a tiger. Like, so if you're looking for like a dumb movie to watch on like a Friday night, I highly recommend, because I did have fun watching it. It is a little long though, but it didn't really feel long because it's just like action packed, and and it's got Idris Elba in it too.
Oh, I do love Idris Elba, but I did see this and it just didn't entice me. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to waste my time. Okay, so I do want to tell you, I did watch the Idaho Murders College Nightmare. But when you were talking about it, I'm like, wait, didn't I just say this last week? But no, last week was a different documentary.
It was a different.
So you're
turning into me?
Yeah. So you'll be happy to know I also watched this. I just thought I had already talked about it, but I didn't. So I watched the same thing. So I did watch it. I liked it. I mean, it was devastating. It was awful. And I'm still kind of following some things because there's a book out now about all kinds of stuff. And the guys, I don't want to give anything away, but just there's more stuff on it. So if people watch that, and then just know there's more stuff. All right. This is what I watched. I watched Furious on Hulu. It's with Emmy Rossum. It's a crime thriller, FBI agent and serial killer. I don't know if you've watched this yet, Sam, or not.
No, but I want to.
You will, and you will love it. You will love it.
So I love Emmy. She's great.
Yeah, she's great. And they're both women in here. And I love it because it's just not, it's about these crimes, but you also dig into both these women. And like you go to one and then you go to the other serial killer and the FBI agent, and some lines feel a little bit blurred, what's happening. Not, I mean, a little bit, right? Just meaning that people have issues, people have lives, not everybody's life is perfect. So it's really interesting. It's really good. It has like 100% Rotten Tomatoes right now.
So it's not really a common thing to have a serial killer who's a female. So like the fact that there's one like in the show is interesting because like we women, we think some weird things and we're interesting creatures. So I want to dive into that.
Very good. Lioness season 3 started, and I was really delayed in watching it. Well, I thought I was really delayed means, like 5 days. So I watched it last night. It was so good because I love the series. It's on Paramount Plus, and there's only 1 episode out. I'm like, you only gave me 1 to start off the season. I don't know why I wanted more. You know how like I wanted like a little chunk, and then they could go weekly. I'm like, you gave
like 1 to 2 episodes.
You gave me
and then
1.
Give me 1 a week.
Yeah, it's really good if you haven't watched it. It is a Taylor Sheridan, and it has,
I love him.
Yeah, and it has Zoe Saldana in it, and she is so good. It's like so good, and yes, Nicole Kidman is in this also, but she's not a prominent character. She's a recurring character, but she's not prominent. Is
she like the chief or something?
Yeah, she's like
Good.
in
she
the
fits
government.
That role,
yeah, she's in the government.
Oh,
and she is.
Power
she's like I'm really bad. So just know I'm really bad with government officials and people say, but she's like who she calls, when something is going wrong.
Like her handler.
So, her handler. But what I love, if you've never seen this, you should watch it.
Okay.
Because, it's Zoe, playing this kick-ass woman, but she also has a husband and her children. And so she has to navigate. She's not home a lot, but she does. And it's a great husband and great kids, and they have real lives happening. And then she has to try and be a mom a little bit, and then she's got to go over here and kick ass and fight and lead. And it's really good. I really like the show. So please check that out. Okay, on the opposite end, Ransom Canyon Season 2 is on Netflix. It's super cheesy. It's super cheesy that I'm on Season 2 and I've only watched a couple episodes, and I'll just watch it when there's nothing else. I'll put it on, but it's not like my go-to show.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's just there. And then you had told me that Stranger Things Netflix was on the VHS version. And this was a couple weeks ago, but I didn't bring it up. So I wanted to bring it up because I did watch the first episode again. And I actually didn't notice a big difference, but then I realized there was a big difference, but it didn't bother me. I don't, the graininess of VHS is cool. So
it adds to it.
Yeah. So that's out for people who want to check that out. Now, I'm going to give you 3 movies quickly. Cold Storage is on MGM Plus with Joe Keery, who is in Stranger Things, and Liam Neeson and Georgina Campbell. Really, it's a sci-fi horror comedy. It's really good. It's campy. It just has a great vibe. It's good. And it takes place over one night. So it's really well done. And I saw Rebel Ridge on Netflix. I really enjoyed this. It's about a guy who's out trying to bail out his cousin from jail, and he's cycling in because he sold his truck to get the money. And he goes to this small town and they ram him off the road, and they feel very racist to me. And just small time corruption, and they take his money and they're like, why do you have $36,000? And he's like, I'm trying to bail out my cousin. I sold my truck. I sold my business. I'm not giving very much away. It's at the very beginning. And then they confiscate it. And so he can't bail out his cousin that he needs to bail out. And it goes on from there. But what I love about this guy, he's so calm. He's very smart. And he uses it. Yeah. And have you seen this?
No, but I've seen the trailer. I think it's Aaron Pierre, right?
Yes.
And he's playing the Lantern Man.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
On HBO. It comes out after Hot D is done.
Okay. Okay.
Him and Kyle Chandler, I think.
Okay. I am so excited. And you need to watch Rebel Ridge because I really like this movie. It was really good.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it was a solid movie. It's 2 years ago. I'm like, where was I? I recommend it. So it's really well done. And then
you get to watch him. You get to watch him beat up on some good old boys.
But he does it I don't want to give anything away, but he has a good approach. He has a very good approach. So
I'm excited.
I'll like it. And then Devil Wears Prada 2 is on Hulu. It's just a nice, fun movie. It's good. Now, I will tell you, I like the other 2 more. I would say Rebel Ridge, then Cold Storage, then Devil Wears Prada. That would be my order of how, and depending on what you want to see. If you want a drama, thriller, or it's Rebel Ridge. If you want to watch sci-fi, comedy, horror, it's Cold Storage. And if you just want to watch a comedy that's light and easy to watch, and that's Devil Wears Prada too. So that is my lineup. You can check out Screens in Focus, TikTok, and YouTube for more recommendations. Sam, oh my gosh. I was so glad that we had this conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me as always. It's always fun.
It is such a fun evening. All right, friends out there, we are so glad that you tuned in and listened to us, and we're grateful that you're here. We hope we gave you some insight, something to think about. Please share this podcast with a friend. We would love that, and follow Screens in Focus. Remember to keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.